ahead, jump. Go ahead, jump.
Welcome to WellSprings. My name is Chris Groppe and my pronouns are he and him. And it's my honor today to serve as your worship leader. All are welcome here at WellSprings. And even though I can't see you in person right now, I am grateful for your presence today. And now I ask that you settle into our time together and be present. Each week when we gather, even at a distance, we light a chalice, not only as a symbol of our spiritual heritage as Unitarian Universalists, but also to call upon the divine spark within each of us, both emerging and eternal, and make it consciously be present with us here and now. As we light the chalice, together we will say the words up on the screen, and they are, we light our chalice to celebrate the path before us, the warmth of kindness that shines from within us, and the radiance of wisdom that is shared between us and never goes out. Good morning. Welcome to this week's online service. Our mission here at WellSprings is to be a community charged full with the charge of the soul. And I'd like to share with you what is charging my soul lately. First, happy 2021, WellSprings. And if you have not done so already, take a moment to shout hurrah, huzzah, hooray, or a similar greeting of excitement about putting the year 2020 behind us. Now, given the date of this worship leading, I was not sure how or if to talk about the last year or not, to be honest with you. I mean, what else is there to say about it? There's this global pandemic. We had extreme wildfires from climate change. We had a resurgent civil rights movement with Black Lives Matter. We had one of the most important elections in American history, the impeachment of the president. And don't forget murder hornets. But there's also a lot of small scale things that happened as a result of the pandemic. And that's what's charged me full probably over the last year. And each of us have carved out our own stories of what that meant for us. And I want to say too, I recognize how lucky I've been this past year. Professionally, I don't ever want to repeat what occurred from January to June ever again in my life. I've never had trouble sleeping until this year. I would wake up at 3 in the morning and I would wonder about the challenges we faced at work. I would wonder what happened if I got COVID, if I got sick, if my loved ones got sick, if people I cared for passed away from it. At work, I was being asked questions I had no answer to. I would rail in futility against the lack of national leadership about this virus. And then this past few months slowly emerging on the other side with some optimism. Science has created a vaccine in less than a year, which is unbelievable, and it's now slowly being distributed. But if there is a silver lining to all that's happened this past year, it's what's happened at the super local level, within our families, within our neighborhoods, seeing more people being out and about, walking in the streets, in the trails, in the woods, other places. These are wonderful things to see. Now, some people might have taken up new hobbies and practices, which I tried to do, but if you didn't, that's okay. And best of all, at least for our purposes this morning, is that some of us made some pretty good pandemic purchases. So March was a little bit chilly in my house while I sat on video calls for work and I tried to get my son to do math assignments. This ensemble, a hoodie blanket, proved to be a very handy wardrobe addition. Sometimes the dogs would even lie in it to get warm. Sometimes you need a screaming goat to express annoyance or stress at a situation or the other humans within your bubble during this pandemic. This was a very nice purchase. Now, I don't want to seem omniscient or anything, but in late February, I started to realize that I might be working from home for an extended period of time in a tiny home office for the rest of the school year. So I went online and I was lucky enough to be able to get some exercise equipment before it all sold out. And so I was able to get a nice adjustable kettlebell set in which, because one, the body is made for movement, and two, I knew I was going to be stressed and I would need something to do with myself. So I was lucky. But then it got delivered to my neighbors down the street, so I had to walk a little bit for it, but that was all good too. Or maybe for whatever reason you did not make any odd or unusual pandemic purchases the way I did, or you didn't take up any new hobbies or anything else, and that's all good too, because maybe you just were able to spend a lot of time with Netflix or YouTube or other things to keep you entertained, and I would be lying if I didn't say I was very, very grateful for Netflix's The Crown being available for me to watch. If you haven't heard of it, it's a very lovely historical-ish soap opera. And the added bonus for me was that season 4 gave me a lot of flashbacks to some early 1980s fashions that I had set aside, for better or for worse. So here we are, New Year's 2021, and I'm grateful that we may be on the other side of going deep into the dark, and now we're stepping out into some longer sunny days and safety. And I am particularly grateful for this amazing WellSprings community. This has been an anchor for me over these past 9 months, more than ever before in any other year, and so I thank you. So even though our community is still gathering virtually, there are still many ways to be connected with WellSprings. The website has a great deal of information, and I encourage you to sign up for the email list. And there's also a link in the video description below. In addition, take a look on the screen for other ways to stay connected with us on social media. It's important that we are all here for each other. So if you are struggling, please reach out. And now to Jessica, our membership and communications coordinator, for some additional announcements.
Hi WellSprings, Happy New Year. I have 2 announcements for you this week. The first is just a reminder that now that we are getting back to our regular schedule after the holidays, mindfulness practice will be resuming each Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Zoom. These are mindfulness practices that are open to anyone. Anyone can join, and you can do them from your home. I'll put information about mindfulness practice into the chat. That's run each Wednesday at 7 o'clock with Reverend Ken. The second announcement is a reminder that Mindful Recovery is still going on, again on Zoom, and this takes place on the first and third Thursdays of each month. I'll put some information about Mindful Recovery into the chat as well. Hope everyone has a safe and healthy 2021.
At WellSprings, the foundation of all that we do is found in the power of connection, making space in our hearts and lives for each other. This is the part of our service where we honor that connection by greeting one another. Now, we're not able to be in Bell Hall and hug and shake hands, but there are plenty of other ways to greet each other for a few moments. If you're watching this live on Saturday, drop some chat into the chat window on YouTube, post on WellSprings Oasis, text a friend, or whatever you need to do to connect with other folks. We're still here together, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you. Thank you for sharing your greetings. Now, I invite you into our time of generosity. As the new year begins, we especially want to remind Wellspringers that this is a great week to check in on your giving plans for 2021. If you don't give on a schedule currently, and you are able to do so, I would strongly ask that you consider doing it. It makes life a lot more predictable for our community, and it helps you stick with your intention. Kevin Donahue from the Generosity and Gratitude Ministry has recorded a short video that shows you exactly how to set up a regular gift to WellSprings online. While you watch that, Jessica is going to put the link that you need into the chat. Kevin?
I'm going to show you how to set up scheduled giving if you haven't done so before. We're sending you this link, the onrealm.org link. When you click on it, you'll be taken into Realm. I've already logged in, that's why I don't have to. And you come to a form. On this form, you can set how much you want to give. And here's the secret, is that you need to choose give multiple times rather than give once. You'll have several options. You can choose this. I'll choose every week. And I'll start today. You hit continue. You'll be asked to choose a way that you're going to fund that. Whether it's your bank account or whatever, and you would click the give button here and you're all done. It's that simple. Any questions, please let us know. Have a good day. Bye.
Hi Wellsprings, I wanted to let you know something that I am grateful for from this community, and that is uninterrupted employment during a pandemic.
Our hardworking staff, Jessica, Paula, and Carol.
The friendliest people.
This year especially. The leadership, and of course the music.
Learning, sharing, and connection.
I'm grateful for sunshine and all the beauty in the world and all the cars that keep us going.
Just as we've taken the time to share the energy of connection among us and generosity beyond us, let's now devote time to reground into the deep and soulful energy that is within us. As you're able, please take a moment to settle in, place your feet on the floor, take a nice, comfortable, upright posture, set aside any items that you might be holding, and close your eyes. We do this by what is the most simple and elemental in our lives. We take a breath. We inhale and exhale without rush or hurry. We breathe in and we breathe out. There's nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be, and nothing else to do than to be here together now. We follow these words from Thich Nhat Hanh into our time of mindful silence. If we want to enter heaven on earth, we need only one conscious step and one conscious breath. Let us cultivate peace and experience presence in this quiet time together. wherever it is that we are, whatever it is that we are doing, however it is that we are feeling, let us remember that peace and presence are always as close to us as is our own breath. May this be so for you in this moment. May it be so for you this day, and may it be so for you in the days to come. May it be so for all of us. The youngest members of our beloved community meet together virtually at 9 a.m., but we still want to make space for them at our 10 a.m. service. And so now is the time for our Youth Spirit Yell.
You and me, sitting in the back of my memory, like a honeybee, buzzing around a glass of sweet Chablis. Radio's on, windows rolled up, and my mind's rolled down. Headlights shine like silver moons, rolling on the ground. We made love in every way love can be made. We made time look like time could never fade. Friday night, we both made the guitar hum. Saturday made Sunday feel like it would never come. It's gonna be a long Monday, like sitting all alone on a mountain by a river that has no end. It's gonna be a long Monday, stuck like the tick of a clock that's come unwound again. Soul to soul, heart to heart, cheek to cheek. Come on, baby, give me a kiss that'll last all week. The thought of you leaving again brings me down. The promise of your sweet love brings me around. It's gonna be a long Monday, like sitting all alone on a mountain by a river that has no end. It's gonna be a long Monday, stuck like the tick of a clock that's come unwound again and again.
Good morning, WellSprings. It's good to be with you again. Happy New Year, and also Merry Christmas, which might be a little odd to hear for you on January 3rd, but it's really not. There are 12 days of Christmas, as we know from the song, and Christmas Day is the first of the 12 days of Christmas. And it leads all the way through until this coming Wednesday, until what is called on the Christian calendar the holiday of Epiphany. Epiphany, which marks, among other things, the visitation of Mary and baby Jesus by, sometimes they're called the three kings, or sometimes they're called the three wise men, and they bring the gold and the frankincense and the myrrh as gifts, as offerings. And sometimes they're called the Magi. One of the most interesting and powerful artistic representations of the visit of the Magi to Mary and the infant Jesus is by Leonardo da Vinci. And I just have to say that I did 5 prior takes of this that I would have been happy to leave in, except I got a mental block and I kept calling him Leonardo DiCaprio, and everything broke down. So Leonardo da Vinci is the famous Renaissance painter, of course, and dates from the late 1400s, and since 1670, I believe, is the year, the Adoration of the Magi has hung on the walls of the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, in Italy, except for 6 years, between 2011 and 2017. During those 6 years, the Adoration of the Magi was undergoing a painstaking restoration because there had been a debate for many years up until 2011 whether they would be able to restore the original painting that had kind of been hidden or obscured by the centuries of just kind of accumulated stuff that can build up on paintings. And they used infrared sensors and all kinds of advanced scientific methods to be able to see whether it would be safe to do this restoration, and they did for these 6 years. And what came back to the Uffizi, the Adoration of the Magi in 2017, it looked like a totally different painting. All these kinds of details and brushwork, and it was an unfinished work of art by Da Vinci. And so you saw kind of charcoal outlines as well too that were never fully filled in. The painting before 2011 was kind of dark and dingy. After 2017, you actually saw that it was quite bright and bold, and there's a lot more going on in it than simply the 3 Magi coming to see Mary and baby Jesus. A totally different painting. Once they were able to restore by removing, for lack of a better word, the accumulated gunk of centuries that obscured the image, they found out that there was something powerfully there all along. I think of the painting and the Adoration of the Magi and its process of restoration, most particularly, with this day on our calendar. I'm going to do in a few minutes from some words and thoughts and aspirations that some of you have sent to me, is a ritual of release, a ritual of aspiring to remove what gets in the way of us really living the life that we deeply want to. Our own accumulated gunk. Maybe it's stuff that did serve us at one point, or maybe it's stuff that never served us. But the point is that now we judge for ourselves that this stuff that is here, it gets in the way. And perhaps, even if it's only aspirational right now, at this day, around this turning of the year, that we would wish to release it, to be birthed into a different form of life, a form of life that calls to us more deeply than the accumulated gunk would allow. When I think of the meaning of this ritual, I think of a favorite quote from Parker Palmer, the wonderful Quaker teacher, whose theology in so many ways is very similar to our own here at WellSprings as Unitarian Universalists. Parker Palmer asks a question in his wonderful book called Let Your Life Speak. He asks a question that says, is the life that you are living big enough for the life that wants to live in you? Now, upon first reading, we might focus on that word big and think he's talking grandiosity. He's talking about like actually accumulating more and more and more stuff. But that's actually not what he's saying. It's not who Parker Palmer is. He's not into accumulation for the sake of accumulation. and the simplicity that the Quakers offer us, that's not what he means by big. Is the life that I am living, that you are living, that we are living, big enough for the life that wants to live within us? I think by big he means this. Is it roomy? Is it spacious enough? Do we have space enough to allow ourselves to follow the path that we really want to follow? Or like that painting, the Adoration of the Magi, has there been just so much accumulation of things over the years that gets in the way of that sense of, as our tradition calls, the original blessing? And it's written right there into our values and our core convictions, our core beliefs here at WellSprings, that we are born with an original blessing, that sometimes because of our own pain and struggles or things that happen to us or the society that we live in, it gets in the way of that sense of original blessing. And so this ritual of release, of renewal, is an opportunity to see if we might even begin the process of just letting go what does not serve. And I hope we can do it in that spirit, in this fire ritual. The burning away is not an expression of wanting to harm ourselves. Again, ours is a tradition that says we don't have a belief that we are inherently, originally broken. We don't believe that burning down the village of our lives does anything beneficial for us. In fact, wanting to burn down the village of our lives in order to save our lives, ultimately it just leaves us with nothing but ashes and tears. So I hope we can draw inspiration from that sense of restoration and renewal, like with the Adoration of the Magi, that in releasing what no longer serves, we can, in fact, find, once again, that sense of original blessing. Especially after this year, especially after 2020. I'm going to show you an image in just a second here. It's one of the ornaments that hangs on the tree in my home. Teresa actually found it. She's really fun with really cool ornaments. And it's, as you see, it's a dumpster fire of 2020. It has been a year. And I'm not going into all of it. We already know it for all kinds of reasons. So challenging, so painful. And here's the thing, simply because the calendar turns from 2020 to 2021, it doesn't mean the stuff that challenged us just magically disappears. I don't believe simply turning a page on the calendar is magic in and of itself. What I do believe is this, is that individual and collective intention can very much be magic. It can be an opportunity to recognize that, yes, there has been a lot of accumulated stuff from this year. A heaviness of grief and of loss and of anger and of pain and division. And also, right in the midst of that, when we look at our individual lives, but also collective lives, profound promise of ways that we might live differently, more justly, more kindly, more compassionately. I hope we don't throw out all of 2020, because to do that would be throwing out all of us. And we are not inherently broken. We just, and by we, I'm very much mean me. We just have some stuff that no longer serves. So I hope we can release it with love and kindness and regard for ourselves and each other, in a way that makes space for the blessings, for the new life, for the renewal, for the restoration that really does want to live within us. In a moment, I'll take you through that fire ritual with some of the words that some of you sent me. Maybe you didn't have an opportunity to do so, and while I'm doing that fire ritual, you can just drop a word or a phrase of what you want to release in the chat, or you know what? maybe you don't really want to share with anyone, and that's totally cool too. Normally when we do this in person, you just drop it into the fire and other people may or may not know. It's obviously different this year because of the circumstances of our lives. So maybe you just want to do that on your own later today. Just write something down on a piece of paper, take a match to it, and see if that helps with the release. So in just a moment, in whatever ways works best for you, I'm going to invite us into this New Year's ritual of release and renewal through a little bit of fire. So amen, and may you live in blessing. And I'm going to ask you right now, if you would, before we do that ritual, to please join your heart with mine in prayer. You can close your eyes if that is comfortable for you. First, just noticing the breath, noticing that life is always wanting to renew us, that the very nature of life is renewal each moment, because we don't take one breath and just hold on to it and that's it. It is holding on and then releasing and letting go as a pattern of being alive, of taking what we need for a time and offering what we can for a time and then moving into the next phase and expression of our lives. Hopefully open-hearted and open-handed, so that we might receive with these hands what life wants to offer us, and we may offer back with these hands what we wish to gift to life. May we release today what no longer serves, and in releasing what no longer serves us, may we receive exactly what we need. Amen. So in just a moment, we're going to start our fire ritual. Some people have sent me words that they would like to be released from, that they'd like to let go. And some people have chosen words and their names. Some people have chosen not to share their names. As I said during my message, if you didn't get a chance to send me something, but you'd certainly like to participate right now, if you're willing, drop what you would like to be released in the turning of this year into the chat just below the video. And truth is, if there's something you'd like to be released from or something you'd like to let go, but you're just not in a place where you'd like to share it with anyone else, please do this little ritual for yourself. Maybe write it down and set it ablaze when you have time today. So we're going to start the ritual now. Tina would like to let go of isolation and loneliness. Andrea would like to let go of things that keep her busy but not moving towards a clear goal. Someone says, I would like to be released from judgments and expectations that I put on and expect of myself. Someone writes, I would like to let go of 2020 anger, self-doubt, and sadness. Rodney says, I would like to let go of the frustration and sadness of 2020. Someone writes, they would like to let go of solitude. Someone writes, they would like to be released from feelings about the unsettling end of a cherished relationship. This is my own personal one. I would like to let go of needing both carrots and sticks to keep me motivated. Sandy and Ken say they would both like to be released from fear and anxiety. Someone writes they would like to be able to be released from addiction. Someone writes they would like to release thinking that I am not enough. Someone writes they would like to be released from the shame of not feeling like they are enough. Someone writes they would like to be released from the fear of meeting new people. Someone writes they would like to let go of impatience. Someone writes they would like to let go of their inability at times to show compassion to their child as their child struggles with addiction. Someone writes they would like to let go of body shame. Another person writes they would like to be released from extreme polarization. Someone simply writes they would like to let go of the past. Bob writes he would like to let go of the words should, worry, and problem. Cindy writes she would like to let go of playing small, self-doubt, and inconsistency. Ron H. says he would like to let go of his year-long concern about his sister's health. She is now at peace. And Carol H. says she would like to be released and to let go from my often obsessive need to plan and control outcomes. In 2021, may we all be released, and may we all be able to let go of that which does not serve us, so that each of us, individually and also collectively, may be more free and more at ease, and more able to grow into the shape of life that we wish to become. May it be so.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
And now is the time in our service when we extinguish the chalice that we lit earlier today. Although this light goes out, the light does not. And we say together, as we release this flame from its faithful service today, we allow the spark in each of us to burn on, to warm our compassion, to fire our delight, to light our paths today, tomorrow, and always. I'll hope to see some of you in a little bit at our Zoom coffee hour, and may you all be kept safe. And Happy New Year again. Take care. Bye-bye.